Hello to you. Today is the 25th of November 2019, and I would like to share with you some interesting experiences that I have been having, because my intention is to share information, knowledge, and even wisdom that I am able to acquire, because it is my hope that people generally, many more people will take advantage of the truth that they have infinite potential. Human potential is infinite, and whatever they are experiencing, whatever you are experiencing, whatever I am experiencing, it is a very small percentage of the totality of who we are. And if any of us, if you are interested in developing that potential, then the information I have can be very helpful and very useful. Certainly been useful for me. So recently I was watching a video by Greg Braden, who I have been listening to for 25 years. In fact, I read his first book called Awakening to Zero Point, and I even met him once, and he explained to me how he started off very challenging, and he was compelled to offer this information to whoever was interested. And then after that video, which was I saw a few days ago, I saw another video which was a discussion between Greg Braden and Dr. Joe Dispenza. Excuse me, I forgot his name for a moment. Dr. Joe Dispenza, with an audience. And it was extremely interesting. Nothing I didn't really know, but it was a good reminder, and also it was said in the inimitable manner of Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden that helped me to clarify that which I know, that which I'm learning, that which I'm becoming aware of. And this video is the result of that. I have been compelled from the age of about 8 that to fulfill a purpose. I felt that I always had to do something in this lifetime. And as I grew older and I started to participate in the healing arts, and I learned Reiki and reflexology, and I did channeling. And when I was 54, I changed my career and became a clinical hypnotherapist. I've done many things in the healing arts. And I've written 16 books which incorporate everything that I've learned, practiced, demonstrated, taught. And I still felt some lacking in not fulfilling the purpose for which I came here in this incarnation, in this body, until yesterday. My wife Abigail and I have incredible conversations, and very often I get a little impatient with Abigail because she sees things differently to me and vice versa. But she's been saying various things to me for several years. And yesterday, the penny dropped and the light came on. And we had this incredible discussion, and my wife was so happy that I'm actually learning this. Sometimes the boot's on the other foot, and this is the blessing of a progressive, evolutionary relationship where each heals the other each helps the other to heal. So what is it that I experienced? I felt that I was walking a path. I had to fulfill this path. I had to go on this path. The Native Americans talk about the red path, which is the path of walking the earth. And then there's the blue path, which is the spiritual path. And I used to indulge in all these paths, and my path and the journey, and the path is getting narrower and there's fewer people there. And I just felt that people were not waking up, and which is contrary to what Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden believe. They believe, in fact, people are waking up. And I must say, as just a digression to what I really want to say, they're moving in circles where they're meeting people who are waking up. I am living on a kibbutz in the northwestern part of Israel, and I'm not meeting many people who wake up. And when I do, it's like fresh air to me. So, and I look at the news and I communicate with various people around the world, and generally speaking, I feel that there is an apathy, a laziness, there is something that's limiting people. But I also must say, I want to say that there does seem to be some movement. People are beginning to ask the right questions, and they are beginning to wake up. And it's for me to be a little more patient, a little more tolerant. So I was doing my own inner life evaluation, sparked off by what my wife has been telling me and what I heard Joe Dispenza saying and Greg Braden, and perhaps even that it was time for me to learn this after all the things that I've been doing. And I realized what Buddha has been saying for 2,500 years. Well, he said this 2,500 years ago, and that information has been reiterated by so many, and all his writings and all that he professed. And he talked about the pathless path. And I understood what he meant for the first time yesterday. You see, my understanding is, excuse me, I must just fix my seat. What I understood up until yesterday is that you walk this path and you fulfill your purpose, and it's the direction you go in, and it's what you do, and it's what you be, and this is the path that you choose. Well, what I realized yesterday is that every path is limited by the path itself. So if you're walking a path, that is your experience and nothing else, because the path limits you to walking that path. There is all of life beyond the path, so why should I limit myself to that path? And when Buddha talked about the pathless path, he was talking about being in that state of consciousness where you are able to be in the now moment, as mentioned to us by Eckhart Tolle in his wonderful book, The Power of Now. And by being in the power of now, you are actually on the path, which is no path, because it is everything. Wow, that was big for me. And I was so grateful, and I continue to be, that I felt I wanted to share this with whomsoever may be interested. I also realize that we insist on doing things. And in the doing, we are limited by whatever it is that we do. If we can do in order to transcend all physical limitations and even transcend the doing itself, then we become the being. Being is so much more than doing. And unfortunately, I have been a human doings rather than a human being. I hope that has changed yesterday because I'm still processing this. In fact, my thoughts, my feelings are still reverberating and processing this very, very simple yet profound knowing. Now, Joe Dispenza said something very interesting. When you can actually conduct yourself in something, whatever it may be, without any emotional charge, that is wisdom. I actually agree with that. Wisdom is when you are able to be free of all emotional abreactions or any reaction, because emotions are connected to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is the repository of all our programs, our learned beliefs, our learned patterns of behavior, which arise through trauma, through the drip, drip, drip of repetition over many years, the school system, parents teaching us what they think is right, and it may not be. It may be right for them, but not right for us. That the school system, the educational system lumps us all into one category, whereas an American came across this wonderful understanding of multiple natures, that all of us are adept at different things in different ways at different times. And you cannot expect everybody to do the same thing that everybody does. It doesn't work like that. So this video is about the pathless path. Being in the here and now. Well, how the hell do we do that? I'm in the process of doing that because I've been working on myself for many, many years. I've done many, many things. And I advocate that for most of us, the evolution of consciousness is a process. And the only way this process can actually proceed unhindered is when we are able to remove the limits, the limitations, the blocks that prevent us from doing that. What are these limitations, these blocks? Learned beliefs that don't support us, learned patterns of behavior that do not support us, that hinder us, that restrict us. The program that you put in the computer of 20 years ago will not be able to do what the program of today can do. So if you want your computer to be more limitless, get rid of the old program and put in the new program. We humans are no different. We have a human potential that is beyond understanding. It is beyond description. We are capable of immense. I'll give you some interesting, simple examples, physical examples. They may not be very good, but I'll do my best. I learned this became aware of this in hypnotherapy school. You get somebody who doesn't really know what to do, can't do anything, no energy, no strength, no spirit. And they're walking along somewhere and something happens. A tiger, a lion, terrorists burst out of the undergrowth and they want to kill him. So the fight or flight response kicks in and he starts running down the path and he comes to a 2-3 meter wall and he runs over it. How is that possible? Under normal circumstances, it would not be possible. In that moment, the subconscious mind is not aware that it is not able to do that. So you just do it. I'll give you another example, which is known, and actually it's a bit better. A lady, a mother, 5'2", 5'3", very slightly built, is driving a car, baby in the back, and it's there's black ice on the road. The car skids and rolls over, and she's thrown out. The baby's thrown out, and the car is resting on the baby, sort of thing. The mother just picks the car up and pulls the baby out. Now, we've heard of stories like this. I have. Real life stories. And the question that nobody seems to ask is, how can she do that? The tensile strength of her bones would break. For instance, I go to the gym, I've done this myself, and I'm lifting weights, and I'm on the bench, and I'm lifting these weights, and I am cocky, and I feel I can lift more and more and more, and I pull muscles in my shoulder and my arm and my biceps, and I can't do anything for some months because I've got to heal. And yet this little lady in this type of story can lift the car, pull the baby out, and there's no harm done. The answer that is given by doctors and psychologists and blah, 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 says, oh, adrenaline does that. Well, I do feel that adrenaline plays a big role, but what about the tensile strength of the bones? The adrenaline doesn't increase the strength of the bone. The bone will break. When I'm on the bench lifting these weights and my friends are going, come on, Tony, come on, lift it. There's adrenaline. I'm going to lift this weight. And I hurt myself. So what I believe happens is that when the danger emerges, the emergency, the willpower of that person does not know that ordinarily they cannot do it. The willpower overrides the subconscious mind. Now, if we are able to use that willpower to help ourselves heal, and people say, well, I do affirmations, I do this, and I do that. And what they don't understand is that they have a positive thought, like I'm going to heal this, whatever it is. And the next thought is, oh, how can I do that? It is the old example of sine waves cancelling each other out. The positive thought is a wave of energy. The negative thought is also a wave of energy, and the one cancels the other out, and you're left with nothing. If we can have inviolate willpower, untarnished willpower, clean, clear, strong willpower, we can do anything. I would like to repeat, in my life, I've accumulated a lot of information, and this information is contained in my books. And these books can be very helpful. These books are available on my website. That's www.anthonyaltmanbooks.com. Anthony, Anthony, Altman, Altman, books.com. Go there, check it out. Communicate with me. Let's get into dialogue. Let's talk about these things. This is the opportunity for each one of us to go further. No matter where we are in our evolution, we can go much, much, much further. And for those people who are struggling to wake up, struggling to heal, are suffering, we can improve our life conditions. All we have to do is change the programming, change the beliefs, change the patterns of behavior, have a clear intent, and I've got some really cool ideas. Read books, listen to Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza. They've all got it. And then formulate your own synthesis and walk your own pathless path. I would love to hear from you. go to my website, to the contact page, and send me a message. Let's talk. Read my blogs. See what's cooking on the website. This is the time for humans to come together as we wake up, as we evolve in consciousness, as we bring in more light, more love, more compassion, in order to remove all the darkness that we see on this planet, and to help co-create a golden age for humanity, save this planet, save us all, the animals. We can do it. All we have to do is be it. And as I said before, let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Thank you.